up, peeps? It's your girl Josh, come back to you for real takes. Well, you guys, I normally always state that I always do my movie news normally on the weekends, but every now and then some things pop off that I really want to discuss, and I can't wait till the end of the week. So I wanted to go ahead and jump on here. Probably won't be on here too long, but I want to discuss quite a few things on here that have just kind of come down the pike that I feel need to be discussed. Now, some of course will be about some movies and a couple about some TV shows that I really enjoy. So with that said, let's just go ahead and jump into it. Now, the first order of business I want to discuss is a person who I have not seen as of lately. It's almost like they fell off the radar, whichever, but I know when I don't see them, that means they're working on something, and that is Vin Diesel. Now, with Vin Diesel, the new thing that's happening as of recently is there was talks about him doing, a new xXx4 movie. Now, I remember the one that he came out with, not that long ago, a couple years ago, which was, of course, XXx Return of, Xander Cage. Now, I didn't mind it. It was pretty good, whichever. It had Donnie Yen in it and a couple other notable individuals, whichever. Now, for me, not too keen on it. Now, I will say this. I love the first one. I enjoyed the first one. Now, we all know how that started. If you all recall, the story was how when he started Fast and Furious, from there, he had actually kind of took a step back and left, and then ended up starting this type of franchise, kind of like a more sleeker, action-packed type of James Bond type of, if you will. I'll just kind of use it as that. And when we got the second Fast and Furious, you remember it was Fast and Furious starring Tyrese Gibson and Paul Walker at the time. Now, they wanted to do this. Now, once the first one came out, which it did well, I even have it on DVD, they tried to do the second one, didn't kind of have an idea of what to do with it, whichever. And then that's when we ended up with the second one, which was XXX State of the Union, starring Ice Cube and, of course, Samuel L. Jackson coming back as the mentor. I think that came out, in 2005, back in the day. So, circa over a decade later, of course, I was getting the third installment. Did pretty good, whichever, for what it was. Definitely did better overseas. Now it looks like they're signed on to do a fourth installment. Now, I'm curious because I think the director who will be attached to this is DJ Caruso. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to bring. Now, what's happening with him is that he's kind of gone to social media and asked his fans to see who they think should be considered. Now, for me, some of the names they threw out, whatever and all that, I don't foresee that really happening, and it's probably not going to happen no time soon. One of them is a possibility because they have a little bit of a history. That person being Gal Gadot, her name was thrown out there. Then we had like Keanu Reeves. I noted these down. Then we actually had Edward Norton. I think that's kind of far-fetched. Sean Penn, definitely out of the woodwork, whatever. No other names coming up to me. Then also somebody threw out Henry Cavill. Don't see that happening. These names are the pinnacle of that they are at with their careers. I just don't really foresee this happening. Now, Gal, if it was Fast and Furious, but she's gone, whichever, you already know what happened to her character. But now being in this one, you never know, she could probably do some sort of walk on real quickly and all that. But she's building her notoriety in Hollywood with Wonder Woman, so she's not going to consider this. I don't know if he was to address her, whatever, and see if she would do it. She might consider it, but I don't know. The money would probably have to be right, and she would probably consider doing that. Other ones, their names, sorry, Henry is a possibility. Like I said, he might be coming back to the Mission Impossible franchise. Plus, hopefully, he has some other things down the pike that he's working on. Edward Norton, that's a name I was not expecting. Sean Penn, I don't really foresee that. Keanu Reeves, we got John Wick 3 getting ready to come out. The brother's doing his own thing. It's just not going to happen. So I'm thinking it could be somebody who's not considered, as they always like to say, A-list or whatever. That might be a B-list, actor or whatever, who still has some definitely notoriety that will be considered as well. So we'll have to see. I am glad. I think that Donnie Yen is going to come back. That will be nice. And I'm all for some good action, whichever. They're going to have to bring it, because I'm going to be honest with you. The third one, some of the CGI was just like very lackluster to me, and I was just not feeling it. Now, also, besides this, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the comic book adaptation of Bloodshot. Now, I discussed that back early last year, actually almost a year and a half ago, and I would kind of bring it up earlier in 2018. Hadn't heard nothing. I want to feel like they have finished production. Just never heard what exactly has happened. I don't know when it's coming out because we never got an actual initial date for when it's supposed to come out. I don't know if they feel it's clocked for 2019 now, so now it's been pushed to 2020, so that's why they're not discussing it. That is a possibility. I'm hoping that's what it is. But also, with him having to do with Fast and Furious as well. We have 8 and 9, and from what I'm hearing from that will be the last of the franchise. He's going to do the same thing that they're going to do, like Mission Impossible. They're going to do them both back to back. So I know it's been pushed back for the moment, because in the midst of them doing production on Hobbs and Shaw, once that's finished up and wrapped, they're going to start production. I'm assuming also because it's a possibility that Dwayne Johnson is actually in it. I don't know, because I'm assuming the script is done. He is in it. That's why they had to wait for his movie to be done, which a lot of the actors who are a part of Fast and Furious were none too happy about that, because it stopped them, just to get back to work, to get this started, so they can kind of just get back together, the group, the family, Fast and Furious family, and just go ahead and finish these last two and final movies. So, but yes, I'm looking forward to knowing more about Bloodshot. I'm hoping we're going to hear something very soon about this. I'm all great and glad that he's actually doing other things, but I remember not hearing anything for a while about anything in coinciding with xXx4, and now all of a sudden it's like, Bloodshot got pushed to the side, whichever. So hopefully going into this year we'll hear more and we'll have something for that as well. I'm just waiting to see exactly when they're going to truly start filming the Fast and the Furious. I think they said late summer, fall. So we'll have to see how that pans out. I think we're coming close to the end of production on Hobbs and Shaw. So hopefully things start getting getting rolling with Vin Diesel again, with all these different types of franchises. So, but more of that. Moving on, you guys. So another thing I want to discuss, I see a lot of photos have come out in some of these magazines, whichever. Some movies I'm actually looking forward to that I did a couple of reactions to late, late holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas time, and one of them being, of course, Men in Black International. Now, they just came out through Collider, and there's some nice ones in there. I was wanting to see exactly what the extraterrestrial, aliens would look like, the agents who will be in this one showcase this time around, and some of them have a very, very distinct look, and I actually like it. I'm looking forward to seeing how they interact with them. Of course, the characters played by Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. So I'm excited for just the overall cast anyway. We already know that Emma Thompson will be in this. She plays Agent O. We have Liam Neeson, who comes back. I think he's in charge of the London base of MIB. And then also we have Rebecca Ferguson, but still to this date, still don't know exactly what her character is until I feel like she's more of the villain antagonist. But I feel like that must be it, because I feel if she was just a regular foe, whichever regular person, we would already know what her actual character will be bringing to the table in this particular reboot of the Men in Black franchise. But yes, I'm just looking forward to this. The pictures look good. It shows them, of course, from the trailer, when you see them in the desert, when they're on like some sort of bike or whatever, it shows them riding on the bike trying to get away, whichever. Then you see them working alongside some of their enforcement, in regards to, I'm assuming, catching, whoever the bad guys, the villains are, whichever. So a lot of different pictures that I love seeing of actually what's happening within the movie. That makes me even more hyped, because like I said, I loved the first one, and I did enjoy the second one. I loved Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones' banter. They had good chemistry when they did it. The first one will always be my favorite one. So I was kind of iffy about the thought of them doing another one, but once I saw the casting, I enjoyed both Chris and Tessa in Thor Ragnarok together. They have great chemistry, so it is doable that I will most likely like this one too. Plus, I know Chris is going to be very comedic at times, where I feel like he's more, like I said, more like how Will Smith was in his. And then with Tommy Lee Jones' character, I feel that's how Tessa is. She looks more serious about the business, whichever. So I'm looking forward to the movie. The date, again, is June 14th, you guys. Months away, not that many months away, but coming up very soon. Definitely going to be probably a good summer blockbuster. So a couple other things coming out in June, so that should be very, very interesting. So another one I'm looking forward to, and it's coming out, we are less than 2 months away, and that is Captain Marvel. It looks like we got some more actual photos from the set from the actual movie, a couple other posters as well. Now for the pictures, it showcases Jude Law, aka Marvel, being of course the leader of the Star Force. You see him with another one of his men helping him in the background. Then you see another picture, of what looks like to be Talos, the leader of the Skrulls, whichever, played by Ben Mendelsohn. And then you see a picture, which I love, of Bree in the middle, aka Captain Marvel, in the middle of both set characters. Looks really, really good. I'm so excited. Then there's another poster I'm going to note up in here where Brie had put up on her actual social media, and she had talked about whichever. At first she didn't want to put it out there, but it's just like, hey, we're getting close to it. It seems like they've rammed up and amped up the actual marketing for her, first female solo, into Marvel Universe. So it's like finally we're getting a little bit more that you should have probably given at the beginning, but there's nothing wrong with that, whichever. It's like I said, 2 months out. So I think it's probably about the proper time for them to start showcasing this stuff, and I'm here for it. I already bought my tickets for Thursday night and Saturday. I'm right there. I got some good damn seats. It was not a game. As soon as those bad boys went on sale, and I had to, because when I went on there the following morning, they went on sale, what was it? I think late 10 or 11 o'clock at night. I had already logged off because I didn't see them up on my location. The morning they were just going, and I had to grab them really quickly. So, yes. And I already knew I was going to see it twice within the first week. So, yeah, I'm here for it. It comes out March 8th. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I'm just looking forward to her bringing it, whichever. I know she's going to do her thing in this. I'm looking forward to seeing all the cast. It looks really good. Still trying to understand how I did not know that Annette Bening was in it, but whatever. I digress. I won't go there. But yes, I'm looking forward to the movie, you guys. You already know how I feel about that. Now, this is one movie, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not truly feeling anymore, and I'm not pressed to see, because it just seems like it have a lot of issues, and I don't know what else to think. First I was not even sure I want to talk about it, but I said, no, let me just get it off my chest. And this has to do with Gambit. This is the movie that, honestly, they started talking about it back, I want to say, in 2014? And from there, Channing came on, I want to say, 2016? Now, at first I wasn't sure how I felt, whichever, because I'll be honest with you, I love the portrayal of Gambit when it was starring Taylor Kitsch. I thought he was actually rather funny, and I liked the overall that we got from the little bit that they gave us from him playing. I thought the potential was there, whichever. Then, of course, as you all see, it did not work out. He kind of moved on. He's doing other things, building his, his movies and his films. Then hearing that Channing Tatum was going to come on, I was okay, he's cool. I like some of his movies. It's all good. But it just seems like we keep going through different directors. No one seems to be sticking. Now, from what I remember hearing, Gore Verbinski came on board, and this was back in 2017. Sign on. We were getting excited. I was getting excited. Can't speak for anyone else. And I said, okay, good. We're moving this along, whatever. Then at the earlier of 2018, I want to say somewhere prior, I think between was it like February, March, whatever, and all that, he stepped down. So now it just looks like it just has Channing Tatum. He is the actor to be starring, and he's also a producer. Now word is that he's considering directing it. Really? Bruh. No. I'm sorry. No. Have you directed anything else, honestly? And he's been acting for a minute, but I'm sorry, I just can't see it. He would have to have somebody to guide him in that aspect, whatever, because I'm trying to figure out what vision you truly have for this. If he's been attached to this long, has he done his homework? So if he feels that confident as a director to do this, then that means he better, because there's some people who do follow Gambit, and I'm curious to see how they feel, and I'm hoping this story gets some traction, because I like to read some other people's thoughts on this, and and especially in my own comment section, please let me know how you all truly feel. I'm kind of just losing all excitement about it. I really want them to do the movie, but then also another thing where they're saying that supposedly right now it's been shelved. Okay, we're still waiting for the pending acquisition to go through. We have a couple more weeks till it goes through. Right now, I think Kevin Feige's hands are tied, because once it does go through, it's a possibility that he might decide to go ahead and bring forth some particular characters from, this particular franchise, whichever. The Gambit could be one of them, and they can start, because at least he has the actor set up, whichever, but who's to say? Now, granted, he's a part of it. Kevin Feige might just say they want somebody else. They might think that he doesn't have, the look, whatever they see. They're very meticulous about who they choose for particular movies that they have so far, and they've done a very good job. That's why I feel like everybody going from Iron Man down to Captain Marvel, they've made the proper decision. If he does bring him on, then that means, okay, good. Right off the bat, Channing does work. Now we have to get the perfect person to write the script, and then the right person to direct it. I'm not feeling Channing directing it. I'm just going to be honest. No, I think you should say the star and producer. Have definitely some, your thoughts, some leeway in discussion about how the story is going to be, the vision, once it's, put into the director's hands. But as opposed to directing, I'm not sure. I'm not certain. Right now, it does look like it's been shelved again. So I'm not getting my hopes up. Honestly, I probably won't discuss this again until they say they actually have somebody on here. But again, the last time I did, I thought Gore Verbinski was going to be doing it, and I was ready for it. And look where we are now, discussing this, and now we have no director again, and no damn script to show for. So I just don't get it. I really just feel like, you know, he just wants it so bad that he's kind of is like in a bubble about this whole thing, thinking it's going to happen, whichever. He needs to just go ahead and wait for this little full merger acquisition to go through and to see if they actually come to him to see if they want to still do it, whichever, if he's still attached. So, but moving on from that, you guys, these are two different TV shows I like to kind of throw in here at the end that one, of course, is anticipating, and one is one of the ones I have always loved since day one. I'll get into that. Now, one of the ones I always talk about and I've been discussing off and on for months is Swamp Thing. We have got more casting have come on board, and I'm actually excited. And I actually was surprised because I thought it was rather random, but is fine. Another person who's been added to the cast for Swamp Thing and will be guest starring on, I think, one episode or maybe more is RJ Cyler. Now, RJ Cyler has been in the movie Power Rangers, and he also has been in recently Black Lightning. He's a great actor. I love what he's doing. I love some of the characters he's picking. He's, you know, building up his, you know, his different characters, you know, and his acting ability, whichever, and I'm loving it, how he's kind of very versatile, whichever. A lot of people loved him in Power Rangers. I enjoyed him on Black Lightning. His episode was really good, and it looks like they're going to be bringing him back, you know, so I'm looking forward to seeing him, because we're dealing with the mid-season, you know, they had a little break. They're about to start back with Black Lightning, and I think he's coming back to do maybe a couple more episodes before the finishing of season 2. So, but moving from that, they still have not disclosed exactly what his character will be actually dealing with, and that's why I say it like this, because the majority of the characters I have brought up, we already have them. They've been solidified. We have Crystal Reed, we have Jennifer Bills, we have Will Patton, we have what's her name, Virginia Madsen, and then we have another one, Andy Bean and Matt Cable. Then there's some other names that have just recently come up that have been added to it as well that I'm excited for, and I think these might be on the side of the villain aspect, Kevin Durant and also Ian Ziering. So I'm looking forward to this show. Now, this is one of the shows that I stated before that's going to be under a streaming service. I was none too happy to hear that they were doing it like this. I was talking to a friend online, and we both, you know, not too happy, whichever, but it just seems like this is kind of the thing they're doing. So if I really want to watch it, I'm going to have to stream it. It's all good. It is what it is. I definitely want to watch this. I was, as I said, a fan of the Swamp Thing, the movie. So when I found out they were doing a TV show, I was totally on board. So that is not going to be an issue for me to watch. Now, of course, again, I said this is being produced by James Wan. Yay, James Wan. And then also the first episode is definitely being directed by Len Wiseman. I don't know if he's going to do more than that. It's a possibility. Hopefully we'll know if it's James Wan might be using some other people to direct, and I'm hopefully as we go along when the show starts, I think we're looking for the premiere to happen in May. They started production in November, so we'll have to see how that pans out, and I'm hoping they wrap it up soon, whichever, because I would definitely like to be ready for it. I'm wondering if they're going to do a full stream of similar to how Netflix does, where it's all the episodes. I'm hoping they do, because that would make me very happy. I can just binge watch the hell out of it, and then I can just do a little review for you guys when it's done, because I definitely plan to review the first season of the Swamp Thing. So, but I just want to kind of note that really quickly. Yes, I talk about this one a lot because I really am looking forward to watching that. Now, this particular TV show, I love this show. This is one of my favorite shows of all time. And a lot of people will kind of be surprised, whatever, and all that. But I like all different types of movies, and I like all different types of TV shows. It doesn't have to be a specific genre, but this deals in the supernatural aspect, and it's called Supernatural. Now, my love started since day one. I was already a fan of Jensen Ackles because he used to be on one of my soaps back in the day, Days of Our Lives. And when he left, I was wondering where he went. So I followed to see what show he was on, and this is the one he ended up being on. I was excited to see it. Now, I wasn't familiar with Jared Padalecki at the time. I know he was on Gilmore Girls, and eventually he teamed up with him. And, of course, they're playing brothers. Now, you all know, of course, there are other characters on the show that I've always loved. Love me some Misha Collins, and love me some Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So when I heard that Jeffrey Dean Morgan will be coming back for the 13th episode, I was excited. Now, this is one of those things that's monumental because the show has been on now 14 years straight. And like I said, I've been following since day one. So I have a straight love. More so this, I'll pick the pictures of you all to show the last recent Supernatural Con they did when it came to the DMV area, whichever, and I had to see them because Jeffrey Dean did not come the previous ones I went to. So when he came down for this one, I had to see him when he came. It was just awesome. So from there, this whole thing with them doing a 300 episode and them asking him to come back, how poignant, because he has not been back on the show since, honestly, season 2. It's been 12 years he has not been on the show. So this makes me so excited and happy to have him back on the show. Of course, we already have their mother Mary, who's back, who's coming back, who's already been on the show. She's been at a couple of the Supernatural Cons. I think on the last 2 seasons she's been a part of the show, and I love the dynamic. So that means we're going to have all 4 of them all together within season 14, so we get to enjoy them before the end of season 14, before the end, I think like in April or May, before we hear if they get picked up for season 15. So I want to note where 2 of the writers on the show actually had to say about this, because it was really exciting for me how they showed some love. They basically explained why they're doing this. They said after being gone for more than a decade, Singer revealed that it was all for the fans who have loyally followed the Winchester journey from day one. That's me, day one. When they say the 13th episode is in a lot of ways for Sam and Dean about home. You're dealing with 2 guys who, when the story started, for the bulk of the show, never had a home. That is very true. It was a modeled rooms in Impala. They have a place they'd stay at for weeks or maybe a few months at a time, but that's pretty much it. Right. Now, Sam and Dean have a home. They have a family, and they have a Lebanon, and that's really where ideas started. Like, okay, what does the town of Lebanon think of these guys? And it says, and conveniently, what do Sam and Dean think of the town? And then it says, then when the idea of Jeffrey Dean Morgan was floated, it was great. Because not only is it awesome to have him back for a number of different reasons, but it's thematically consistent because suddenly it's about home again. That is so true. It's about family. It's about having that family dinner. It's about coming home in a more emotional way. I'm really looking forward to seeing him on however the episode is going to be discussed. They're keeping it tight-lipped exactly how he's going to come into the episode, how it's going to fall in line, even though it's going to be the 300 episodes, we just don't know how the way the show is flowing for this season. So I'm hoping it's not in so much of a very high risk critical time with one of the guys being hurt or near death or whatever. I hope it's just a simple episode. That would be really nice just to enjoy it, even though it's not going to be realistic for the simple fact that we know he's a spirit, he was an angel, he's gone now, whichever. Because that episode he was in season 2 was so heartbreaking when he came to help save Dean and them from Yellow Eyes, whichever. He's just standing there, silhouette, and all you could see was Dean crying. And I tell you, Jensen can throw on those tears like the best of them. Him and Jared, honestly. But yes, I'm just excited for this. Like I said, I love this show. It's going to hurt me when it goes off. When you've put in that many years with the show and you still love it to this day, it's going to be hard. I'm already trying to get over the fact that one of my other favorite shows I love is Game of Thrones. When it ends at the end of this season coming up, and it's going to be ending at the end of May, yeah, I'm going to hurt for that one, whichever. But this one right here is really, really going to hurt. You'll probably get some goddamn tears. It really will, because that's just how much I love the show. I have it on box set all the way up to season 11. I got to get 12 and 13. I have yet to get them, but yeah. I just love the show. It's one of my favorites. Just the overall banter between the guys. They like to play jokes on each other. If you all watch their bloopers, all you gotta do is find their bloopers on YouTube. They are hilarious. And I love how they love doing what they're doing. And as they've said many, many times, until they don't enjoy it doing it anymore, they're gonna keep doing it. I know some people are like, how much more story can he tell? Whichever. It is what it is. If you don't want to watch it anymore, just don't watch it anymore. But the rest of us who still love this show, I'm going to enjoy it for however long they're going to give it to me. So, but with that said, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you all think. Like I said, I really want to know what you all think about Gambit, because I was so annoyed when I read this earlier in the day. So, but yes, any other things I discussed, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you all think. And with that said, I will see you guys on the next movie news. You guys take care.